I'll be reacting to Selection Project Episode 2. I'll be watching it from Funimation's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1, 0, go! Kadokawa! Gotta say, they have a kick-ass looking logo. Ding, ding, that was a little Funimation jingle, too. Or now it's here. Oh, boy. This one, how our girl's gonna deal with. Yeah, that's a loss. Aww. But yeah, I have a feeling she's gonna be able to bounce back from that, though. Because even like the strongest people have. Oh, hello, Anime Doji. And saying that, I also feel bad for our winner too, because she's also a good person herself. How because she thought that our main girl should have won, but it just didn't turn out that way. And that's what I'm liking about this series. It's just a small amount of time made multiple characters, at least from the first episode, pretty likable. And I still think that holds true. It's just she's going through a rough patch right now. I don't even know which series. What series is that? Well, Anime Doji, I want to react to it, but it hasn't been translated yet. Now, if you want, you can link. You can tell me the website to watch Mao Evogalia because I haven't found it anywhere. I want to react to it. Oh, but tell me where to watch it, and I'll react to it. Because I've been looking for it for weeks. For a week, I haven't found it. Oh, that's a good mindset to have there. She's cool herself too, though. And hey, oh, I'm assuming she's going to see her girl. Yep. I mean, she would have only came all this way to talk to Shizuna. I love how they're going all gaga over instead of giving her the information she needs. How wouldn't she know? Yeah. Oh, I thought for a second they would have talked about it during their free time, but yo, I can ship that. No, I kid. If it's probably just like a friendly hangout type of date, but I could ship that though. Yeah, well, Anime Doji, I can't react to Evogalia episode 2 until it has subtitles because I need subtitles to understand it. That's the thing. I know it's out there raw, but I thought you meant the sub version. Well, I can't react to it until it's subbed. Evogalia. I am surprised they didn't exchange contact information early, but you know what? That happens in real life too, because I know work and also in real life there are people that I talk to a lot, but I haven't exchanged my contact information yet. I have like sheer laziness, so you know that is kind of relatable there. In that you can talk with someone, but you just haven't found time to exchange contact information. I wonder if she should. Hmm. But hey, you know what? Sarah has. She can't really be thinking about that anymore. She's got to consider now tackling the obstacles right in front of her. You know. Yeah, I know World Harm is out, but it hasn't been subtitled yet. That's what I'm thinking. Shizuna shouldn't give up. Interesting how Funimation translate California. They should have translated the whole California thing because I've been to California before. You really should translate California as Cali when someone says it as Cali. I know because I've been to California before. I think Funimation fumbled the translation there because I've been to California before. So as someone who's been there quite a bit, I'm like, ugh, I don't know if Cali would have been the good translation because Sardia said California straight up. I mean, Sardia said California straight up. Just a bit of a, I believe, a mistranslation there because. But other than that, the translation is good though. Just that little fumble for Funimation there. And Shida is right because Shizune really did work hard. And that's what I love too, a character development for Studio where you see how honest she is, even though she got to advance, she still wishes things would have turned out differently. And I love how Shizune isn't a bad sport either. Because even though she lost, she still gives Seria credit. I love this. It shows you how much of one of the people Seria and Shizune are. Well, honestly, Shizune should keep on singing, even though it'd be rough after that. Yeah, honestly, be a waste if she stopped. I think that's gonna give our girl the encouragement though that she needs to keep on singing though. Hmm. That's actually a cute little earpiece there with like the little dogwood design. I think it's cute. I wonder if she's gonna get back to practicing. Oh, never mind. I thought that's why she might have potentially paused the music for a bit. Man, that is some damn good English from Serio's voice actress. Yeah, it's probably more than that. Oh, that's smile. That's the last smile. Hey, that song actually fits the situation because at least with what Shizune is dealing with, it actually is a rainy situation. Not literally, but in a figurative sense. Hmm. Well, that is a pretty damn good song. I mean, not song, but singing. That's some damn good singing. And it fits too because it definitely looking like Serio's feelings are definitely helping give Shizune some warm vibes too. So honestly, that song fits perfectly for the situation. And I love it because at least in some of the idol anime I've seen, sometimes you have idol animes that have a song just because it sounds good and it's a good song, but it doesn't fit with the script or narrative. This one actually does. Hell yeah. It is. I mean, they can only say after. There's a saying that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In most cases, that's true, and it's definitely true in this case. Now, that's a smart way of having characters' names being re-shown off. Having like the little caption instead of having like a character in a monologue. My name is this, because I've seen some anime this season do that. They treat their audiences like dumbasses and be like, they mention a character's name in one episode, then the next episode they have the character mention, my name is so and so. I do this. I'm glad the series doesn't do that bullshit. They either have characters mention a character's name on screen again, or they have it in like some kind of cool, slick looking caption, treating the audience with absolute respect. Like right there, this is the way it should be. Have it somewhere on the screen if you want to reshuffle the character's name. Because as much as I loved Komi Can't Communicate yesterday, that the only issue I had with it was they mentioned Tadano's name in a single bit in that episode. Then they mentioned again in a later scene Tadano's name in an inner monologue. So that what I saw yesterday was an example of how not to do it. This example of how to do it. I swear, those doctors don't remember them ears. Whoa! Nanoka Yagi. Yeah, Nanoka Yagi still keeps on being one of my faves. Can't wait to see more of her. Oh. And I love the positive vibes in the episode too, where it has a nice mix of sad, dramatic moments with the bits with Shizune that are well done, and then you've got it mixed up with some nice happy moments with the finalists seeing off their family members. Shiori Yamaga. And something else I'm glad too, they're representing their names because they did introduce a lot of characters last week. So it is nice to get just nice bits of refreshers. I mean, nothing wrong with having at least a little bit of kiddish wonder, even as an adult. Just a bit, though. Aww. National Girls tracking me 100%. Damn! Yo, this chick must have a stamina. Look at that. I like how when it comes to each girl, they have their own little quirks. What the fuck? Oh, I thought for a second this went all science fiction or fantasy for a second. You have new messages. Is there gonna be some kind of twist where they're gonna allow? Oh! Whoa! Aww. I mean, but hey, you know what? I can respect this choice, though. When I'm saying that, this is nice. It sets City up for some character development. I like how the cute little mascot. Yes. And you know what? I kind of like how they did it because with Seria competing now in the finals, it's gonna put the pressure on her since she didn't make it. One of the, aw, hey, she's gonna have to. Plus, it'd be one of the best ways of opening themselves up because it's better doing certain things in person than through the phone. And this is definitely one of those things. Oh, Takeshi's. Just like the place she mentioned. The place does look beautiful, though, just aesthetically speaking. Hey, you know what? That is a damn cool reasoning to do that. Because if Sarah would have been performing, she would probably have a guilt in her guilt inside of her, or maybe she would have felt a lower sense of self confidence, and then she would have probably had regrets if she would have lost in the competition if she would have lost that way. So I could see why she would do it. I love that spirit, and I love that optimism too. Honestly, voice actors is awesome. Just saying like those English lines so professionally, like yeah. Because usually anime, it sounds like English, so it's really rare to get to see a voice actor say the lines like that, and so naturally too. Tokyo Shinagawa. And you know what? I actually wouldn't mind if they gave some of the other girls characterization because out of all the girls, they've only really given Seria and Shizune some legitimate characterization and character development. But the anime does need to develop some of the other girls too, admittedly. So you know what? I'll welcome it if it puts the focus towards some of the other girls for at least a bit. Damn. What a drill sergeant. Oh, we have new messages. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, that's what I've been waiting for. Whew. Oh, you know what? I actually wouldn't mind slice of life moments. This will actually be a good opportunity for all the girls to get to know each other in between the competition bits. Damn. Wow. So that's very no expense. Yo, that kind of sounds like it'd be a little creepy though when you have your quiet moments and they can see some of. I just love how he's a tease. Hmm. I just wonder if there's going to be any chaperones or is it just going to be the girls by themselves? It makes sense that Shizune would be the last, concerned she'd likely have the least amount of stamina. Aw, hey, at least there's some positive vibes from the other girls. I love how my minutes are blood. Aw, okay, I like the wired one, but I just gotta give her a chance too, though. I like how one of them is just focused on their food. I love how Valley is so that she can gain weight. Whoa, so much angst. But hey, you know what? Our girl just has to show out. Oh, that's a cute little smile. The girl's on a journey to tomorrow. Oh, that's essentially the title on Funimation's website. I mean, not on their website, on the episode title. Oh, okay. I'm assuming this is the opening song. Damn, it's well animated. Biggest shocker is they're actually animating the idol dance portions with 2D animation. Because I'm so used to nowadays when it comes to idol dances, I'm used to seeing them rendered in 3D CG. Going with those tears, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of sad moments for the ones that have to drop out from the competition or that lose. Glory days. That is a damn good song. I'm gonna have to look up the full version of Glory Days whenever it comes out, if it isn't already out. That's nice. Oh, so it looks like eventually Shizune is gonna become friends with the intense girl, which you know what? Doesn't surprise me. Usually when a main character has rough vibes with intense girls, they usually become friends. I remember that happened in Kageki Shoujo where you had Sarasa become friends with Ai, even though at the start those two didn't hit it off well. Kind of gives me a similar dynamic in this series. So you know what? Man, I'm excited. This was actually better than episode 1. Was there any scene portions of episode 2? No, but this episode you had characterization, character development. This episode slowed the fuck down, which was I was hoping for it. When I was reacting to episode 1, I was like, I hope the future episodes slow things down, and it did. And I'm like, woo, because this episode did have the tough task. Get reintroduced to all the girls. At least they made a bit more of their names memorable. And another thing that I liked is even though it had a small amount of time, you got a good amount of characterization for the girls in the final bit of the episode. Just going off of how they acted when Shizune showed up. And I love those little touches. And let me explain what I mean by that. In just the last portion of the episode, you got characterization for some of the girls And I'm sorry if I get some of their names mixed up, but here I go. You got characterization for some people like Imo, where she's like, "Oh, no, you're so cute. I think I might lose." There, it implies that Imo was probably the bubbly, super happy vibe, positive type of girl, and it implies that she is probably doesn't have the most self confidence in herself if she says something like that. With Nodoka, it further establishes with her that she definitely isn't a detail-oriented girl because she isn't even paying attention when our girl Shizune shows up. And then with some of the others, like, and I hope I don't get this girl mixed up. At least the one that had a negative reply towards our girl when she showed up. I think it was Rena. I hope I'm not getting Rena mixed up with Mako, because some of these girls, they look the same. So I apologize if I get some of the names mixed up. But I love that little bit of characterization with Rena where she told Shizune that I would have been embarrassed if I had showed up in these type of circumstances. And that's what I love, because with Rena, it shows you that she is of the hardcore, super blunt type. But it also implies that she's the hardworking type too, because for someone like that to say something like that, it shows you that they completely dedicate themselves to the craft. So already in just like a few minutes, you get a lot of characterization for some of the different girls in a small amount of time. That's why I love this episode, because it slowed things down, but when it had to do some speedy characterization for multiple girls at once, it did just that. And that's what I really... Oh, and another thing I also gotta love about the... almost forgot to mention, when it comes to Ao, I love how I mentioned the fact that she was impressed that Shizune kept on going. And it makes sense that someone like her would say that, because considering Ao is someone that's really athletic, it makes sense that she'd say something like that too. So that's why I loved it, because at least the extra bits of characterization that we got in this episode fit in with what was shown off of the girls in episode 1. That's why I really loved how things headed off in this week's Selection Project episode. So that's why I gotta give the episode high marks from a character standpoint. And that wasn't the only bit too that stood out to me from a character standpoint. I really loved the friendship between Seria and Shizune, because for one, it was nice actually seeing them hit it off together. And it was really, really good seeing Seria lift up Shizune emotionally too, especially after the rough tumble that our girl had. That was really nice. And I also love how it sets up Shizune as an underdog, because considering that she did fall in the previous event, she is not going to be the odds-on favorite of winning the whole thing. And I love that, because it's going to make the next few bits and the next few episodes a lot more tense, because then it's going to make you wonder, oh man, how is Shizune going to stack up? Is she going to be able to perform without fumbling, without falling and tumbling? And I love that, because it's going to add an extra layer of tension. And that's why I was a big fan of the script of the episode, because now it's going to make the story much more intriguing to see. Because had she, say, done everything perfectly since episode 1, it'll make you, at least me, think, oh man, it's going to probably be a given that she's going to win. Now that's not the case anymore. And that's why I thought it had a lot of good things for it too, narratively. And to its advantage, I had a lot of jokes that landed, like that bit where Nodoka about to leave and the dogs go towards her. That was really cute. Or even like those bits too where Shizune and Seria sing during that phone call scene. I thought that was really emotional. So I love how this episode was able to intersplice nice comedic moments with emotional moments simultaneously without it feeling out of place. So that's where I gotta give praise to the episode. Like, the direction of the script was well done. Now, from an animation standpoint, you can definitely tell it wasn't as high budgeted as episode 1. Episode 1 was definitely top of the line animation. This episode was still good, but episode 1, I'd have given it like an A quality animation. Here it's B, which is still good. B is still good, because for me, C is average. So I still got to give praise to the animators. because this episode did use stills when you have the girls introduced. Because some animes, when you have characters introduced with captions, you would have still, even though there's captions, characters move. Like an example is Komi Can't Communicate episode 1. When it had captions, you had characters move on screen simultaneously. This episode didn't really have that. Not to say it's a big issue, though, because this episode was just a transitory episode. But I'm just going to mention on it because I do also keep in mind animation when I do rate episodes. But overall, animation was still good. Just not top of the line like episode 1. The opening was beautiful, though. Hand-drawn idol dancing sequences. Sign me the fuck up for that. So overall, even though it wasn't as a great effort, the opening was damn good. Music was great. I thought the song in the episode had meaning to it. It wasn't just placed there just because they needed an idol song. It was placed there because it fit with the script of the episode. So I gotta give praise there. The voice acting was absolutely amazing. I loved it. And that's why if I had to rate the episode overall on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a brand spanking score of a out of 10. I love this more than episode 1, surprisingly. Holy shit. So with these positive vibes, and now, don't get me wrong, I was interested after watching episode 1. I was like, all right, this is going to keep my interest for the whole season. But now I actually am hyped for the series. And if, who knows, depending on how this way the series could fall, could handle its next few episodes, it might even have a shot at the very least being on the level of Love Live Superstars for me. Or at least near it, because it's going to be hard for any idol anime to be on the level of Love Live Superstar. Not saying it isn't going to be doable, but Love Live Superstar is freaking amazing. But if this series can be on the same level, oh, yes, that'd be awesome. But yeah, these are my thoughts here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section. Hope y'all rate the video, share, rate, comment, subscribe, because I will be reacting to episode 3. And next week, I will probably work overtime on a Friday because my mandatory overtime day shift. I've had literally 2 weeks where I've worked on my overtime day on Thursdays. So which means I'm given to work on a Friday, which means that for Selection Project episode 3, I'm probably going to have to work on overtime. So my reaction to episode 3 is going to be late, just given that I've had 2 Thursdays straight where I've worked. So my alternating day, I'm eventually due in for a Friday to work on a mandatory overtime. So giving you a heads up, I will react to episode 3. It's just going to be way later than usual. You know how I'm reacting to it right now? Imagine my episode 3 reaction is probably going to be 12 hours later than this usual time next week. Because naturally, whenever I work overtime on Fridays, my first things first, I always react to Dragon Quest Adventure or Die first, and then everything else. But yeah, just giving y'all a heads up about that. And yeah, thank you very much, Animated Jody, for commenting on the live chat. And thank you very much, everyone else, for watching my video. And I hope y'all have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, everyone. But anyways, y'all, I'll see y'all later if y'all come back for more, everyone. Bye-bye.